Hello everybody and welcome to round one of the opening series for the Open World Championship. It's going to be hopefully a fantastic series. We're based here in the New Game Games.car 2012 and alongside me today to call all the action is James Kirk. James, obviously, you know, second season going into this now. Bram Hengeveld, of course, was the previous champion. What are his chances of defending his title, do you reckon?
Oh, I'd reckon they're reasonably strong, actually. I mean, he seems like a consistent racer over a lot of the race department events, and although there is some seriously good competition in the field for this season at least, I reckon actually, yeah, his chances are reasonably strong. Matt Nielsen, of course, who won the race here at Campo Grande last year, not present with us, so who knows, he may have a better chance of winning this race than he did last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, there are two groups to this, Group 1A and Group 1B. We will be streaming only Group 1A tonight, though, as we get ready to go qualifying. It's hopefully going to be a good session. Your current man who's leading the way is Nasland. He's followed by Arnold, who we're taking a look at now if we can get the camera sorted out. I'm trying to still get the hang of this.
There's no worries there, is it? Had a bit of trouble with the broadcasting, unfortunately, today. No overlays, which makes our job a little bit harder, but we shall do our best to give you the best commentary that we can.
Absolutely. So just as the session gets underway then, obviously, you know, this track's very tight in some places. It's very fast moving track as well. You can see the drivers are locking brakes up almost, but it's very easy to, you know, luckily it's a huge runoff area, but it's very easy to lose the back end and fly off. So a good starting position here to get yourself some clean air very early on will be key.
One incident here last year was off the start, even though turn 1 is, it looks reasonably simple, a track, but there are so many opportunities for incidents to occur, and hopefully the start will be a bit cleaner. Actually, I believe that Hengeveld was actually involved in that incident last year, so hopefully things will be a bit cleaner this year. But yeah, it looks like a simple track, when in fact it's reasonably difficult to master. You can easily lose time in the fast corners, you can easily lose time in the short corners as well, so stringing together the perfect lap here really the best chance to get yourself high and hopefully get yourself out of trouble.
Yeah, absolutely. As well, quite a big field today at the moment. If you just cycle through the guys that have set lap times at the moment, you can see the actual gaps between, you know, 11th place and the leader. They're separated by virtually nothing at all there as we go through the times. So the man currently last to set a time is P12. Oh, that's just changes to Ferreira. Goes in P18. He's only 0.7 away from the leader, so the time's still very shuffled around at the moment. But a bit of a skin error there, I think, on the broadcast. But
that's fantastic, isn't it?
Unless that's a custom skin, I think there could be a bit of a broadcast problem there. But
Fabulous.
There's Arnold. We were watching him earlier, and he's again, you know, third place. He'll be starting just behind your pole sitter, defending champion Hengeveld, P2, and isn't too far away from the leader Nasland at the moment, but Nasland seems to have got this under control. Of course, still quite a way to go in the qualifying session though, so anything can change.
Let's have a little run down through the field as well, so he can cause trouble. Scott Weber, I remember from last year, he does a decent job, very good on the overtaking moves here last year. Also, is Visa Muller here today? No, what a shame. Visa Muller was also strong here last year, so yet another strong competitor who Hengeveld won't have to worry about. But Nasland, as you said, I mean, he seems to have this under control, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gives Hengeveld a good run for his money when the race starts, you know, wherever he starts in qualifying in the end.
Yeah, absolutely, but the last thing you'll do is get stuck behind slow traffic. You want to set a good time. Right now, track space is optimal, as you can see Arnold's just cruising there, no cars in sight anywhere.
Lovely, yeah.
You take a look at the man behind him, and it's good to see, because in tends to be in qualifying sessions you do get a lot of traffic going on. You can get clogged quite easily, and with the nature of this track, traffic could be quite a big factor, but at the moment it's all looking fairly quiet out there, so optimum time to set a lap.
Yeah, I would usually say, I mean, GP2 is infamous for its track issues and people getting stuck behind everyone else, and also if you watch Silverstone earlier today, I won't give anything away, but the wet weather, it really does show how many, you know, it's a different situation to this, but having so many cars out on track at the same time is an absolute nightmare. And as you said rightly, it's lovely to see that everyone's got nice space in front of them to be able to at least give themselves the best chance at a perfect lap and to really show off their ability to the rest of the world, supposedly, now that they're watching.
Yeah, absolutely. So the man currently sitting just on the top 10 there is Webber. So he wants to climb a bit higher. We need to improve his lap time. Again, you see a lot of skid marks in the moment where cars are locking up, especially into that corner. So obviously, I mean, this track could be quite demanding on the tyres if the drivers keep going this aggressive. But of course, in these lower league Formula cars, this does tend to be of an occurrence.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if tyres started to wear out. I'm thinking, are we going to be having maybe a pit stop? Well, I don't know. I forget, how long is the race today? Are we sure?
I think it's an hour.
An hour's race, so it'd be interesting to see pit stop strategies. I mean, you could obviously go for the risky one stop, but I would never recommend it in a million years, because one stopping in an hour-long race, and especially on this circuit as well, where tyre wear will certainly be an issue, again, really not the best idea. So 2 or possibly even a 3-stop strategy maybe for some of the guys would be the recommended option here. But I think 2 stopping will be the more likely candidate, as it makes times of the essence, and you don't want to be wasting too much on an unnecessary pit stop at the end of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. As you see, current man, I believe, is second at the moment. Graham actually disconnected from the game.
Yeah,
so we've got some, we've got some bit of racing action going on for you here. So we'll try and get a better view of this. Here we go. So I'm slowly mastering the cameras. Move into turn 1, and gone wide, and the camera's gone funny.
Ah! And who are we back with? We're back with SWAT now, I believe.
I'm not too sure what's going on with the cameras here, but we'll slowly get to the bottom of this. But bear with us.
Man's had a couple of drinks.
Manning the cameras, so we're still trying to get used to the actual software. There's a bit of a yellow flag there we saw, so hopefully shouldn't be too much of an issue.
Yeah, SWAT was battling out with someone, but I'm not sure where he's gone. Bizarre. And SWAT obviously abandoning his lap there, I see.
Oh, the car stopped there, that's Ben. Let's got it going again. Not too sure what happened there. He's leaking engine. He's got something coming out the back of the rear, and that's never a good sign.
No, I suggest he pulls in very, very quickly.
Sporting the race department. Oh, it seems to have cleared up, so maybe just a bit of overheating there in the engine. So luckily he's currently in a 10th position, so he will definitely get another lap in no matter what. But
let's have a look. Hunter is the next man down from me. He's a 10th down to them. So it might be worth pulling in, making sure that everything's alright, and then going back out, because top 10 position really would be good on the first race here, and obviously losing it to someone else. Is he coming to a stop?
He stopped again.
Yeah, stopped, yeah.
Definitely a problem there. That must have been the end. You said, it's cameras are being funny.
And he's got going again. And he stopped it. Is he practicing starts? Possibly. I think he must be, but
could well be.
That's unsafe though. I mean, whenever I'm racing with my compatriots in another league, which we shall not name, usually everyone does their starts in the pit lane or in the pit lane run-out area.
So I believe we're moving to the race centre. All the cars back in their field. So you just go through the field. So the man who was on pole position then was Nasser, and he couldn't be beaten. I believe Hengelen will be second if he can get in the server. Webber will originally be third, I think, if we've got this right. Arnold will start third, so starting just behind the leaders. We're looking good for him. And the rest of the field's gone crazy at the moment. So thank you all in the chat for talking about the camera work, we are trying our best.
We are.
I'm sure we'll be on par with the
bizarre.
likes of Simon Meliwish in no time.
Oh, I love Simon Meliwish, and I must admit that actually I'm quite a hothead when it comes to racing into Lagos in my, as aforementioned series. Someone punted me off, and it was no fault of their own, but me being me, I decided to have a go at him, because, you know, I was like, you know, really angry, and I tell you what, there's something about him which is so likeable, but yet he's a very blunt person, and he's a real pleasure to know, and as you said rightly, he's absolutely fantastic at cameras, so, I don't know, maybe I could poach him.
Yeah, so we've actually moved to qualifying now, and that was the last practice
Yes.
session. I think I remember Bram telling me that qualifying started at past, which could have been why Bram disconnected.
Very
Hopefully
possible,
our
yeah.
championship defender will be back here very shortly. And it's qualifying session for the opening round of the Race Department Open World Championship will get underway as the cars are much more congested as they flow around this track at the moment. Of course, the game's still very early in release almost, so guys haven't really had long to practice. It's not like, you know, some other major leagues where you've got plenty of time. The actual mod, the base mod for the league has been around for months and months. It's just the skins that have changed. This is a brand new game. So the guys have all had the exact same testing time, no excuses, it's all down to who's put the most effort in today.
And as you were saying earlier with the cars bunching up, it's always a balancing game whether to go out first, try and set a quick lap and get ahead of the traffic, or wait until later when the field is possibly evened out a bit and then try and put in your lap there, but have obviously less time to actually put in said lap. And from the looks of it, people are quite rightly just, you know, braking, waiting until they, you know, have a good enough distance in front of them to start it up. And as you can see, Bram Henschwald's actually re-entered the game, so we will be able to get a time in, which is excellent.
Yep, so just waiting for the first few times now. So as you said, let's just see how much of a big factor traffic is. Hopefully there are no battles on the track. Of course, for most of these drivers, this is the first time to actually see each other dueling away, you know, and learn about the cars around you. This is the first time realistically that you're going to see who's got the pace, who hasn't, whereabouts in the field you're going to slot in, and, you know, who your main rivals are, because you could be thinking you're doing exceedingly fast times when in reality you could be facing around 13th and 14th place.
I reckon it would vary between track to track as well, because you're fast at one track, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be fast at all the other ones. I mean, you can make comparisons to the F1 season, which is currently running, but although the cars are different abilities, their attributes are still suited to different tracks, so you could be very good at one with fast corners and short corners such as Campo Grande, or you could be more suited to some of the slower tracks or faster tracks in the later parts of the season.
Yeah, exactly. So we're taking a ride on board then with Ferreira at the moment, who's currently P19. You can see a car just in front of him as he's flying around. It's really nice elevation changes in this track, as you almost lost the back end there and getting very close to the pit wall as he comes across the line. And I believe this will be to start his first flying lap. Yeah. So car on the inside there. There's a yellow flag, so a lot of lockups in turn one. I believe so. It's great. I mean, there's going to be a lot of smoke, especially in turn one off the race start.
Yeah.
So these drivers got to be aware. I mean, it can get quite tight with a couple of cars that are only, you know, 19 or 20. So hopefully we don't get that pack during the race. But right now, so we're going to see if anyone's actually set a decent time yet. Ferreira, I believe, will be one of the benchmarkers at the time. So see the time flood in. Again, another lock up into the hairpin.
Looking at him here, he seems like it's reasonably under control. A lot less lock up than the other competitors. And you know, as you were saying with the first corner, as I said earlier, that was where the incident occurred, and it was because of brake lock-ups. People underestimate how much they will need to lock up, and Ferreira here experienced enough to know that you should brake early enough or brake just, you know, on the limit to be able to not lock up and hopefully save your lap. And running actually quite wide there, but we'll have a nice run out onto the next straight, moving quickly to this new right-hander. Moving once again to the right, seems good, and he's going to come across the line now to set that's a 1 minute. Yeah, 1 minute 20.3 there for Ferreira.
Yeah, so current man on the pole as I get used to what way he's scrolling. So Webber still then, as we said, he was one of the rivals. Currently he was third in practice. Is the man on the pole at the moment. He's currently in the garage. The man in second, however, is not that. Let's watch that actually. That's Bram, who's just gone pole. So tune in just a bit too late, but he does go provisionally on the top of the timesheets.
By a massive margin as well, 1.2 seconds up.
Absolutely, so a huge gap there, and then just behind as well, the rest of the field looking fairly close. The top five all separated by 0.3 of a second. As Hangweld intrigues some traffic.
Look at second to fourth there. They're all covered by less than a tenth. That's unbelievably close.
Back to what we said about traffic being an issue. I wonder here is actually helping your pole sitter, because right now he's getting quite a healthy slipstream off the car in front of him. As he comes down the straight, he's got the perfect opportunity to try and slingshot, but I believe he just gave up on the lap there. And
the issue is you want the toe near the end of the lap so that you're able to go across the line quicker. If you have someone to toe in the middle of the lap, then you have to overtake him, you know, if you're obviously faster than him. So it's a very fine act between realising, well, you know, will I be able to pass this guy easily down the next corner, or should I really just leave it and try and find a bit of space for myself and then go for it again for the next lap?
Absolutely. So currently then, Hangveld leads the way. Let's see if he can keep it there throughout the rest of the session. He's going to have some stiff competition though, as he pulls into the pits for the end of his run. But in second place is leaving, so a great switch over there, and now Nassim will try his attempt at trying to pin his car on the top spot of the grid as he leaves the pit lane. There's a couple of cars behind him as well, but it looks like he's come out in reasonably clean air by qualifying standards.
And this is good. He's pulled away from Webber and Swart, now 0.3 ahead of Webber, but still a massive 0.8 behind Hengeveld, so he's going to have to find a lot of time somewhere to be able to try and steal back pole position.
Absolutely. So let's just take a look at what's going on further down the field. So for instance, I mean, look at the gap now there. This is
0.002.
It's absolutely fantastically close, and just behind there, Van is only a tenth away. And we've also got some close action there as well, as these two racing for position, track position if anything, as they're coming towards the end of the lap.
This is what I'm saying. This is the toe which I'm talking about. You want the toe here so that you get that maximum acceleration out of the straight. There's no DRS for these guys, no curves. You have to just do it from good old-fashioned slipping under behind them.
Yeah, and Axelson got that done pretty well, as the other car went off track. So Axelson only got a bit of a toe, as you said, down the stretch, but got a nice healthy run into turn one, and he's got clean air in front of him now up until the next car, which I believe is Nelson's teammate.
Then there's close the gap to 0.63. I mean, I'm absolutely... It's weird. I mean, there's certain sections of the field which all bunch up together, and it's nice because looking at it, as you were saying earlier, you're going to be looking at the rivals who you're going to be racing with, and by the looks of it, these rivals are going to be extremely close together, which always makes for great racing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm sure we're going to see plenty of actual position changes during the race. I mean, these cars are so competitive, and with it all being balanced, it's all down to, you know, driver ability. So we're going to see a lot of healthy position changes, hopefully a lot of overtaking action, and hopefully less of the incidents and crashing. But right now it's all looking fairly close. As you said, the times, literally nothing separates a lot of these drivers. Again, Van still was barely, well, the gap's gone down. It's a 0.06 now between him and Cristini. Axelson P7, 0.063 away. So the gap between 9th and 7th is virtually nothing, which could be just a lock up in a corner or just a slightly different exit line.
If you have a look further down the field, have a look how the road drivers are going for.
The man just out on the... Oh, gone backwards.
Ooh.
The man... Oh, bit of a moment there for your current man in P10. He's being followed. Oh, that's Blegley. Yeah, P10. He's not too far, but wow, he's 2/10 in front. The man in P11, Vin in there, P12. He's 0.88 away. So again, it's a very close field. I think we're going to see another race where the field splits into perhaps 2, maybe 3 groups of all even pace. I mean, you've got the leaders with the likes of Hengeveld and all that company. We're going to have the midfield who are all jostling for position. So overall, it's going to be hopefully a really competitive race.
Looking at Ferreira there, he's 0.5 down on Levin. Are we able to have a look beyond Ferreira, see how close his competition is? Because I think like, it'd be interesting to see whether these groups are as grouped as they can. I mean, as far as I can see, there will not be any people having their own race, which is always good, but at the same time, it's people so competitive can lead to incidents so easily that, yeah, of course no one would want that to happen, but I think it's always good to have a couple of those people out in clean air so that they're not involved in incidents and can have a nice good race.
So we just had some technical difficulties there. So still then, the man on pole position at the moment, provisionally, is still hanging about. Oh, been there. And that's big contact there for Nelson, and that's not what he wants. I'm sure that was going to be a good lap as well. He's kind of reduced the gap a bit. Look at the gap now, just over a second.
It's over a second.
But that's not what he wants. Time running out.
Henschveld has improved, and I think the problem is now that Webber's caught up to Naslund. He's now only a 10th behind. Axelson's improved to 4th, he's now 3/10 behind, and Swart has fallen back a bit, he's now 4/10 behind. So I think what you were saying about this group, the grouping of the drivers, might be a little bit of a one-man group for Henschveld up front, who seems to have this nicely under his belt.
Absolutely, defending champion, nothing less expected of him, currently a second clear of the nearest competitor in second place. Third place, Webber is a 10th behind Naslund at the moment, and with Naslund's recent spin, I'm sure he could be on for something decent. That's going to give him some motivation indeed. In the pit lane at the moment, as Naslund leads again, Axelson currently P4, so he'll be looking to improve. And he's just gone down to P5 there as Norton goes up to P4, so he wants to try and stick his car up with the front runners.
Yeah, look at the differences there, 0.019, 0.043. Well, Axelson's actually gone down to 5th there. I think it's Venari who's gone up to 4th, so so close, but again, I don't see anyone actually closing in on Henschveld, which doesn't bode well for people who want to try and steal this first place away from him. You might do a bit of a Sebastian Vettel on the first lap and be 10 seconds ahead.
So let's see what Axelson can do then. As you said, so there's still a lot of guys that could break into the top 10. He's Svart there, finding a little bit of traffic. Hopefully tries to get past him fair enough. I mean, trying to grab the inside line there. It's looking close side by side. Doesn't quite have the momentum, but will get the toe as they come down the straight.
It's always eating into time though. A lot of people say, well, if these guys are getting the toe, then how come they keep on falling behind? It's because the other guy's too slow. He keeps on holding this man behind, and as long as these guys keep on racing, it's going to do nothing to help themselves on the qualifying stages, and will ultimately...
That's exactly what we don't want to see in the race. Can he hold it? Yes, he can, barely, but puts 43 car over the curb, which isn't what we want to see, but we don't want to see that during the race. It's so easy to lose the back end of these cars, and it just showed dividends. Sarah Svart just put too much effort into that corner and nearly caused an incident, but luckily he will carry on to set another lap time. Hopefully no damage to the cars, but those tyres aren't going to be the happiest in the world right now.
No, to be fair, I don't think the lap was going to be quick anyway. As I said, he was battling out with the car in front, so there was no real loss, I think, there, but you just don't want to see this. Why not hold back, realise that the guy in front of you you're not going to be able to pass, and then just come around for a much quicker lap? I mean, I know there's going to be a bit of traffic behind him, but it's a fine balancing act, and Swart's obviously not able to manage it at the moment. I mean, look again, he's just...
he's gone off! Oh, yeah. That's horrible. From bad to worse then for Svart.
Just don't want to do that, and yeah, obviously he's coming out again. But it's so easy just to get hot-headed and think, yes, you know what, I'm going to be able to overtake this guy and the lap will be fine and everything will be great. No, you need to hold back and let the guy finish his lap. There won't be any incident, and you can just come around for another run, and who knows, hopefully improve your time.
Yeah, so Spa back on track, currently P7 a tenth away from Axelson, but the thing is though, he did just have a couple incidents as we said, and he can't let that keep in his mindset. He's got to try and forget that, move on, and try and set a better time, and more importantly, warm those tyres up. They'll be stone cold right now. And you sort of try and warm them up. Back at the front, however, it's still Hengeveld that leads, and the gap's even gone up a bit, I think.
I think it's going to buy like 4,000ths of a second.
So barely anything between them, and then Webber is actually gained a little bit on Naslund, but now look who Hengeveld's behind. Now this is going to be very interesting, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that is Naslund, so first and second together. And how guilty would Naslund feel if he actually gave Hengeveld a toe?
He's pushing him along.
To actually increase his lead.
Oh.
Side by side, could this be a replicant of what we're going to see in the race? Naslund defends. This is exactly what I was talking about. This is the first time these drivers are going to have an opportunity to race each other and find out how they take the corners. And a big lock up there by Naslund indeed. That's huge, and he's managed to keep it going. I mean, he's lost a lot of time to Hengeveld. He's going to try and put one past him, cover the inside line and slam the door. Does Naslund as he just says no thank you, again locking up there. So he's really trying to push hard now, and the car goes off in the background of your screen. This is really, I think we should watch this for a couple more minutes because I can't see this dying down anytime soon.
Have a look here. Naslund, I think it's very cheeky. Naslund is not submitting to Hengeveld. He wants to make sure that he does not improve on his time again. Oh, blimey!
Oh, Hengeveld's gone!
Oh,
and he's on the curb. Not a big incident, but again, this is what we're about, pushing hard. You can't push too hard. These cars will just snap away from you in the blink of an eye. We saw that with Naslund earlier. Spa was another prime example. And now your pole sitter. So if Hengeveld can do it, a previous world champion, anyone can.
Pressure lifted. That is all that Naslund's going to be thinking about. No more having to defend from Mr. World Champion behind you. But again, I don't see much hope from the other drivers of being able to catch Hengeveld. He's just simply too fast.
My internet keeps going funny, so sorry for the short intervals. Because I keep almost glitching out of servers and.
If there's a short interval, that is your opportunity to have a drink.
So it's third place Webber, crosses the line for another lap. Still can't get close to Naslund though. The gap's still 4/10. Just behind, a tenth away is Vinari now to P4. So he's been doing quite a good job. And there you see Naslund's teammate currently P5. So looking like a strong result for them at the moment. P6, Axelson was 7th previously, so has gone up. Spa now P7.
Look how close 4 to 8 are now. 0.0, no, I lied. 0.039 up to Binari, but down to Arnold it's just a tenth off. So if it's going to be Hengeveld and then a top group, it's going to be an absolutely massive top group vying for position into that first corner. Oh, and they're going off there.
Oh,
Axelson.
Absolutely. Into the first corner, it's going to be generally chaos anyway by the looks of things, but having, you know, if we saw how feisty Hengeveld and Naslund got earlier, if they do that into turn 1, I'm sure there's going to be a couple of fireworks, or Naslund's going to want to try and capitalise. He knows Hengeveld's got that faster car, and he can't let that hang over his head going into the opening lap. If he wants to make a move and take the lead in this race, he has to do it early on while the tyres are cold.
You can always have one in the midfield pack knock him out like last year. They'd make a little conspiracy theory between the drivers, but let's hope that doesn't happen, because then that would rudely take away possibly a deserved win from Hengeveld. But actually, I did think that Naslund did catch up about 6/10 on the lap that which we did see him lose Hengeveld from his rear side, so it might be a bit closer than first expected. So we're live with Hunter now, who's strongly in this midfield pack about, oh dearie me, absolutely lost it on that last corner there.
Again, that's Hunter, and so a lot of drivers having minor incidents in qualifying. Luckily, you can just escape to the garage and carry on, but during the race, that doesn't become an option, and I'm sure that the drivers will be a lot more careful as they enter the race.
I'll tell you what, with qualifying, you know, especially, you will see drivers pushing the limit, like in real life, you'll see drivers pushing in practice, because unlike real life, as you rightly said, you can just quit out and to the garage and then just come out and do another lap. There's No issues there, and so you will see these much faster times. Then you'll see, oh goodness me,
Oh, that's another moment.
pushed out almost on, well, he was pushed out onto the grass. Not sure if there was any contact there, but I was scared off the circuit, most certainly.
Absolutely, so things hotting up in qualifying quite literally, especially in terms of tyre temperatures it seems, as we just go back up the field and have a look at the times. You can see, so the driver in green is the man, for those who aren't familiar with the sort of R-Factor layout. We take a look at Axelsen, his time there is highlighted in green, and the gaps between the drivers in front and behind him are highlighted in yellow. So let's just take a look at the gaps then. I mean, look at the gaps then between Svart and the car in front, Norgan. So 0.15 in front, 0.0011 behind. This is so close, literally nothing separating them. So I think my theory of sort of splitting into groups is
qualifying's over.
apparent. So the checkered flag flies then, and for the first round of the Race Department Open World Championship is about to get underway, and I don't think things could be any tenser.
I am very much looking forward to this. Is there anyone else trying to complete a lap? Are we able to have a quick flick through?
Well, we can quickly try and see who's... Well, hopefully I won't get any internet connection problems during the race. So we've still got Hengeveld.
Hengeveld still going through.
Looking to improve his dominance. As,
look at him, he's already 8/10 ahead. Oh, and yeah, a bit of a spin there, but no need to worry, I think. 8/10 ahead of his nearest competitor, Nasland. So, no worries there for him at all.
You just get ready to go to the race then. Let's just quickly go through your poll, well, the grid at the moment then. So Bram Hengeveld was the man in P1. Second place was always Nausteren. Webber was third. Fourth was Venuri. Fifth was Norgan. Fifth was Axelsen. No, sixth place, I beg your pardon. Seventh was Svart. Eighth place was Arnold. Then was ninth. And rounding out the top 10, if I can just see. Sorry if I mispronounce any names.
It's Christiani.
Small. Christiani, yeah. It's, my font's really small, so struggling.
Well, maybe
so
I
I'm
could
literally
go to
leaning
bottom
right
half.
to my screen.
Did I do the
Pardon?
bottom half of you there? Because I can see mine pretty fine. I said, should I do the bottom half for you since my... Oh, dearie. Your internet okay? Oh dear, we appear to... Ooh. Apologies for this, folks. Quickly running down from 11th to 17th, since I have them up on my screen. Anthony Leven came home in 11th with Stefan Vodenberg in 12th. Dave Bogley, 13th, with Pereira ending up 14th. I don't think he'll be quite happy with that. Jason Lancette is 15th, and I just had a message from Liam. He says, oh, my internet, so sorry about this, so apologies to you lot there. Ken Hunter is here in 16th, and Thomas Starr is in 17th. I'm not entirely sure who's below that. I believe we have 2 minutes of free practice now before the race, and hopefully for Liam to sort his internet out.
I think it's kind of, it just keeps disconnecting me and then the bar goes to 0 and I somehow stay in TeamSpeak but this goes really glitchy. So I think James has run you through the field. So then James, if you could pick a winner today then from today's grid, who would it be?
I reckon that it would be a goner, or what's the right word I'm looking for? It'd be a brave man to bet against Hengeveld, because I genuinely think that the 8/10 dominance that he was showing at the front of the field compared to the rest of the pack, who was, 10th between them almost, is really telling. And unless he gets wiped out in the first corner, I think he's got this one wrapped up already.
Yep, so I'm not sure. I think this could be a really close race, and I mean, if drivers make errors like I did in qualifying, it's going to get tense. So I think Hengeveld would be a good shout at the moment based on qualifying pace, but of course you've got Naslund just behind, you've got Webber, of course, who's been constantly there in Daredevils racing. He hasn't been, all that pacey compared to your current world champion, but nonetheless he's got himself in third position, so if the two lead cars spark some fireworks going into turn 1, I'm sure he'll be the first to capitalise. So I think it's going to be very close to predict considering, the actual session in hand. I mean, there's a lot of close racing out there. I mean, as we said, pack racing I think is going to be a big key. So just have to see what happens later on during the race. But right now I think Bram's going to be the man in UNICEF Racing who's, well, probably going to have the best odds for a win starting from pole position.
Bram will be the man. So how many? We've got about 6.5 minutes or so of warm-up before we get started on this race. And I'm just thinking, the season 1 was abruptly cut short after race 4, which I think was a shame. So are we hoping for a much better championship, a full championship for this season? And are we expecting Bram Henjold even to retain this title, or do you see potential in the other guys here today to fuck that title away from him?
Yep, so this I think, are we going back live again? Oh, we've got warm-up, haven't we?
Yes, that's what I was saying.
There we go, right, so finally we're going against, sorry for this delay, right, we got things, there we go. So yellow flag briefly there, but so the first time to be coming in, I believe, Hengveld's already been the man out on track already on a mission, and is on track, yes, and Naslund set this time. Atchison goes second, 0.7 seconds away. Now what could be interesting, guys, could have different qualifying setups from race setups. So this is the first time I'm going to see race pace now. Some drivers might practice starts, but it's just the last chance to see how, now you know where you've qualified, you can see who the drivers around you are, how they approach the corners, where you can possibly plan an overtaking manoeuvre. And of course you see that run down into turn 1 is very tight, reminds me very much of Shanghai before it flicks down to the straight there. So it can be very wide, but if you're not careful it's going to get chaotic.
I think one of the things which we should note from free practice is there could be a lot of drivers going for those hardcore qualifying laps still, thinking that they can pump one out every single lap. But I think what is more likely that we're going to see is not necessarily a true, qualifying performance effort, but rather just trying to keep it on track, because it's so easy to try and think, yes, I've done this excellent time, now I can go into the race and just wipe the floor with everyone because I can just keep on pumping out this time. It's not true. You will have mistakes that you will have to correct. You'll be battling with other people, which is something that you are most likely not going to encounter qualifying, although we did see a couple of incidents earlier today. But again, I would not expect to see or take much from what we're seeing in free practice here. It's just about staying on track rather than anything else.
Yeah, absolutely. As you said, qualifying, we saw quite a few incidents. Literally everyone from your pole sitter way down to last place had their own sort of section of incidents and their own mishaps, so hopefully we don't see too many of those during the race, but I think it's inevitable we're going to see a couple of spin outs, and with the racing being as close as this, it's inevitable we're going to see some contact, I think. So Axelson, current second at the moment, he's 0.6 away from Naslund, so he did gain on the last lap, but it wasn't enough. Christiani, P3, 0.612 away from the man in second place. Starwo is 2 seconds away, so from first to third, all separated within 6/10 of a second almost, and then fourth downwards, all starting to slowly slip away from the leader.
Looking at last year here, I mean, I'm trying to remember who was on pole. I think it was Hengveld on pole last year, but obviously he had that incident, and the winner of the race last year is not here, along with a lot of the other competitors who we expected were going to take the fight to him. So I think it's going to be interesting to see whether the new, I'm not sure how new they are, but Naslund and Axelson certainly looking like good competitors, maybe enough to overtake Branchveld and Bramsveld. I just melded his first and second name there, apologies. But yeah, Naslund and Axelson definitely look like two of the closest competitors to Hengveld, and obviously anything can happen in the race, we don't know. I mean, possibly them two could be taken out.
Yeah, so just trying to find then Hengveld at the moment. Let's see where he is currently. So he's currently P6, which is very unlike his sort of pace. So maybe he was caught up in traffic or had a mini incident. Currently behind Bishop.
As I said, I mean, he's probably just thinking about race pace and actually staying on track. You do not want to be going for some daredevil move over the curbs and then, just losing the back end in the race. You want to be nice, safe, at the same time as fast as you can. But yeah, I wouldn't take too much from his time being down in 7th. He's just probably practicing staying on track more than anything else.
So not long left to go now. There's Hangveld
he has gone first.
yeah, so kind of commentator's curse there. Regain his position back at the top of the timesheets, and the first two guys, just as they were in qualifier, Naslund. But this time the gap's a little bit increased as well. So it's getting a little bit further away as Hangveld's got it. Well, no, it's 0.4. It's come down actually. I was looking at the wrong time there. So 0.427 the gap. So I'm still getting used to this new sort of timing and cameras and whatnot, but.
Well, Hengeveld I did see was locking up a bit, whereas in the actual qualifying he was so slick. No lockups, no anything. And apart from the incident with Naslund, he was just, ooh.
I think that's a practice start there for Cristiani.
I tell you what, if they keep on doing these practice starts outside the pit lane, I'm going to get out the commentary box myself and push the car into the pit lane myself. You should not be compromising other people's laps and bringing out the yellow flag just to be able to do your own starts. Just easily quit out, back into the garage, go into the pit lane and start from there. Did this.
Yeah, and Cristiani's got a nice view there of a car just parked alongside, so
yeah,
you took your advice.
To start. Yeah, there we go.
So we take a look at currently P7, the man we were on about earlier, Levan, press the wrong button there, out on track at the moment, and of course, being our champion's teammate, what's his mindset going to be going into this race?
Don't be the bridesmaid.
I mean, it's so important. I mean, you know, you've got a very experienced teammate there, so I'm sure they'll be sharing setup tips or almost like a mentor. So it'll be interesting to see what Levani can do.
Well, I think
yellow flag.
Yeah, he's starting there. Well, it is a real issue when you've got a dominant teammate. In a way, it's good because you think, you know, our team might win. At the same time, you're under a lot of pressure to try and perform as closely to him as you can. And hopefully Leven might be able to do something from where he is, but then again, maybe he's one of those people who like being the number 2 driver.
So I believe we're getting ready then to go to the race, and I'm sure this is going to throw up. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. It's going to throw up intense action. You know, these single-seaters, you know, especially in the lower formulas, can be so close. All the drivers being very sporty and wishing each other good luck. We get ready to grid now, 23 seconds left, and I'm not be done.
Oh, there we go. It's a 50-minute race.
Oh, of course, yeah, we've got to go spectate, haven't we? I think.
Yeah.
To be on the grid, and that could be a bit dangerous.
Could be. Let's say. Oh, man, ooh, then 2 cars on the grid?
Not too sure what's going on here.
Oh,
no,
there
oh,
they are.
away.
Oh, we're away. Oh, my goodness me, it's...
Oh,
hey,
now Namster's got it into turn 1. So Hangevel's down to second, he's locked up, he's managed to keep it going. But I mean, there's a lot of cars all spreading through turn 1, but that's not the start we expected. I mean,
Naslund's up into
exactly
first,
what I told him to. Yes, so we said if you wanted to take the lead of this, he had to do it early on, and he's...
Oh, you're getting a bit of lag here. From what I can tell, Naslund is still ahead of Hengeveld.
Yeah, at the moment he is. Yeah, I think we've just got a bit of lag here across all fronts. But they're coming down the stretch. Hangeveld has got a slipstream. We'll see what can be done about this. Can he turn into a move? He's gone round the outside. He's going to have to swoop it if he wants to make it stick.
Ooh.
Can he get it done? They're side by side, going around the corner. Naslund trying to hold on to that inside line as much as he can.
Blimey.
They're still side by side. Hangeveld still trying to commit to get to the final corner. He needs to try. And he couldn't have done great defending now by Naslund. He's trying to squirm all over the back of him, looking for an overtaking manoeuvre.
Naslund's teammate right behind Hengeveld, so if he can get a tow, it'll be a fantastic opportunity for Naslund to pull away, try and get his teammate to keep him behind him, and so he can. Oh, goodness, lock up both of them. Yeah.
It's looking very close to see about there for 4th and 5th going on in the background. So we unfortunately can't get names at this time due to the limitations of the game just being released. So there's a field thread through.
Oh, Hangeveld's got him.
Still now, look who's getting onto the back of them. freezing a bit. Well, I said it. It's a little bit. Hangman's actually taking the lead, if I'm not mistaken.
He has, yeah, took it down the corner, I believe. Well, I must say, apologies to the viewers who are having to watch this. The mod obviously not really holding up that well to the strains of having 20 or so drivers on the grid.
So, I just try and sort this. It's just going to be a bit hard controlling sort of the cameras and things with the lag. I believe it's
Oh right, and so Liam there has popped out. He's lost connection, and I believe we've lost connection to. Oh, Liam's back. Appear to have lost connection to the race itself. Actually, it's not a good job for the commentator here. So I think I am able to join you through SimRace TV. Okay, so I'm going to be a bit laggy here, but I think Bram Hengel is still in the lead. As far as I can tell, my camera is literally focused to the back of him, and my camera is not facing back, nor can I move my camera, so I'm a bit stuck here.
So this has been unfortunately riddled with problems. I'm trying to connect to RRD once again now. Sorry about this to the viewers. As I said, it's completely the worst sort of scenario, unfortunately. Just wasn't our day in terms of luck.
Are we able to get our own camera feed back up?
I'm surprised because I've got it's not connecting for some reason, so I'll try and get to the bottom of that one. For now, see what it streams like. From what we've seen so far though, it looks like Bram is a lot quicker than Nassel and them at the moment, but this should make for a good race. Nassel has to work hard if he wants to keep second at the moment, it looks like.
He is, yeah, and from what I can see from the SimRace TV screen, Hensfeld does look actually to be catching up to the back of the field already, I think. Right. So, basically, our issue is that we have lost our connection to live race feed, which is a well, I'm not sure how far ahead it is of you lot.
I think on the stream it will be stuck on one camera at the moment, which is going to
Yeah,
be
it is.
unfortunate. I mean, it's just been, unfortunately, you know, first broadcast of the season, trying to get everything sorted. There has been a fair share of technical problems. Well, will be all sorted by the next broadcast. And on my behalf,
Ooh.
you know, we can't apologise enough. But we're trying to sort everything out for you as quickly as we can.
We do have a different camera option, and what I can see there, Nasland is still within sight of Hengeveld, but he's a sizable gap back. I would say about 2 seconds back.
Yeah, so apologies everyone, we do have an issue at the moment with our viewers, we've said. But at the moment it's still Hengeveld that leads, as James pointed out, so Nasland's still in second at the moment. Nasland clinging on then, and then as we said, I mean the gap is starting to pull away a bit now. There is a lot of gaps forming, and that my theory of sort of pack racing, where the fields will split into their own sort of even pace. I mean, unless you've got a big slipstream, there aren't many overtaking opportunities in terms of getting a big slipstream into a corner. So where you can get those, it's all going to be down to sort of who's got the best pace, and with that kind of pace groups, it is going to be literally, so, you know, maybe 5th to 9th together, 1st to 3rd together, and then split that way, because, I mean, the guys midfield just don't have enough slipstream opportunities to keep up with the leaders. And I think we're seeing a case of that at the moment, as we're still trying to get this all sorted.
You know, this would be a perfect time to play a fancy, well, I wouldn't call it a fancy game, but it's a friend of mine, it's a game of one of my friends called Simon Smith, a fellow commentator, and it's called Takeaway Bingo. This is definitely a game to pass the time, so possibly if we have this next week I shall grab some money and we can possibly play this. Actually, we're on board with Nasland now, I think. I believe we are, his teammates behind him. I mean, Hengeveld's just absolutely annihilating him in terms of lap times, pulling away steadily every single lap.
Yeah, so
yeah,
at the moment, so the flyer's back out, so unfortunately, provisionally, until we get this sorted, this is going to be your view for the forthcoming future, but we'll updated on as much action as we can. I mean, again, unfortunately, this hasn't been our night in terms of technicalities today. But it's shaping up to be a good race as well, which is a shame, because I'm sure it would have been a very exciting race to broadcast. So until we get things sorted, we'll have a great view of the cover photo of the Race Department Open World Championship, who's currently being led by defending champion Bram Hengeveld, as we go for a short technical break, it seems.
we should definitely make a technical problems, picture.
So we have got a stream back running now, so if we can get back into RRD, that will be all good. We're back!
Excellent.
It's slowly getting there.
There we go!
So I believe that's Nasland, the man in P2 at the moment. Again, on his own race at the moment. So no cars in front or behind. If you can keep it there, that's a great to start the season in P2. Even better for Hengeveld though, who's just pulling away each lap. And he's currently in P1. So there he is, your race leader.
I'd say a steady 5-second gap there now.
So there's third place, and he's been tracked down there by the number 71, so we should see battle forming there soon. And there's Sparse, I believe he's... Oh, there's a car dive. Was that car diving into the pits there? Or... Oh, it's an incident.
No,
it's number 18, that's...
Nazan's teammate.
Yeah, so that's not gone well for him. So I believe he just maybe lost it on the back end, locked the brakes too easily. And he's going to lose a lot of time. Hopefully there's no damage to the car. In the background we have got a battle there between the number 5 trying to defend us. This is what we're on about with these pack racing. There's 4 cars there, all reasonably close together, heading into turn 1. Is there going to be a move? Yeah, no, couldn't quite get enough momentum. But I'm sure within the next couple laps there will be.
Oh, we have to pull out of that. Very sharp. Oh god, he's been overtaken by
by number 6. I'm going to have to refer to cars numbers as 6 due to the the layout issue that we have at the moment. So please excuse us. And there's a lot of action going on around at the moment as the cars all thread through turn 3. There is another group of 3. This is what we're on about in terms of pack racing once again. Oh, there's the name. There you go. That's Wundberg trying to overtake Arnold. Arnold, who again lost the position there to Hunter due to snapping out of one.
Yeah, we'll just keep them up. That's much better.
Yeah, there we go. So problem solved provisionally. So steadily the broadcast has improved. Thank you to all of you who've stepped by us and watched this today. As Arnold still can't quite get that momentum back to regain that position now. But one man who's going to be loving this at the moment is the man just in front of that gap, Mr. Bishop, who's pulled away quite a nice gap after defending from Arnold a few corners ago, is now pulling away from them quite comfortably. So,
and this is what
there.
Yeah, this is what I was saying in qualifying earlier. The more battling you do, the more time, unless you work together, you're actually going to lose from the people in front of you. Yeah, it works exactly like qualifying. But Hunter seems to have actually lost that battle now. Oh, goodness me, Ferrari looked like he was going to dive into Nogren there, that would never have ended well.
There's Ferrari trying to take Norgan. So again, another battle there. So battle was forming all over the track now, as you said, in little groups of 2, maybe 3, even 4 cars at some points. But let's see what Ferrari can do. A big lock up there by the car in front of Norgan. So we'll have to see if Ferrari can get the job done. He's got a good opportunity now to slipstream.
Thing is, he's got good enough gap. Nogren definitely got enough of the gap there to land a little look up from Ferreira. Oh, goodness me, Nogren's round!
And Ferreira's taking advantage of that, and that's a huge slide there by the car. Just by that was Norgan, so again, has lost the back end, exactly what we were talking about earlier, James.
Up as well, yeah, goodness me.
Pushing too hard, and I think that's a thank you very much there, so.
The question is surely the tyres aren't going off this quickly. I mean, it's only, what, 10 minutes into the race? And goodness me, that was a massive slide. I'm surprised he's able to easily keep that in the right direction.
Absolutely, so just take a look at the remaining battle. So this battle's still raging on, then Arnold crosses the line. He's still managed to not lose any more positions, but look at the battle just behind him. There's a smoke going into turn 1 again, lockups forming, as that's Hunter now slipping into the back of Lankit. So Lankit to try and, again, this is another battle racing on, as Lankit's trying to catch Hunter still, vaguely just behind. So I have to see what happens. I mean, this is all looking extremely close at the moment. You might as well just take from around 4th position to 12th, shuffle them all in a hat and pick them out at random, because I don't think anyone can predict the race order at the moment.
Far from Hensville winning, a massive lock up from one of the guys in front. I'm not sure where it... Yeah,
I mean the tyres, every time we lock the brakes, this isn't going to help the tyres. But this is becoming a regular occurrence, as we've said. Now there is going to be a move there, down the inside, tries Beagley.
Beagley's possibly gotten past. Yes, he has. Yes, he has. Arnold attempting to do the old switcheroo back on him, but no, Beagley's definitely kept that position well. And Liam, unfortunately, has left us again. So we're going to be staying with this Arnold battle. And he is back again. Hunter still leading this, but he's being reeled in. Oh, and goodness me, Beagley locks up the brakes massively. Almost diving into Hunter, and yet Arnold has taken advantage. Oh, or is he going to take advantage? Beagley's going to have the inside line going into the next corner, but Arnold holds it very nicely. Doesn't lock up the brakes. And thank you very much, sir, for messing up. I'll take that position back.
Absolutely, so great racing going on. Luckily you managed to get the stream sorted in the end, except for my internet connection, which you can blame Sky for that one. But as you said, I mean, now some great action heading into turn 1 as we come towards another straight. Still trying to fight for it, Beanie not letting go. Tried to force one up the inside. It's going to be harshly contested though. Down the straight, it's a straight drag race into the next corner. It looks like Beagley's got it done at the moment. Can he keep it there though? He's going to have to swoop it round. It's the number 45 if Langate does it, and barely wipes across that front wing, and very lucky not to keep contact there. These two both very aggressive drivers, still side by side. Neither of them want to give way, and if they're not careful they could both end up on the grass, and that's definitely the way it's heading.
He's clinging on like a desperate boyfriend round some of these corners, almost to the extent that he's going to be crashing into Arnold at some point. I'm surprised they haven't made contact yet. And
absolutely, and now he's slipped into the back there. And this is exactly what we're talking about though. You make one slight mistake or you go for a move that doesn't pay off, and then you get the next car behind you trying to move. It's Beagley gets on the inside, shut the door, and he's going to go deep into the next one. Unfortunately, there is still a battle, of course, raging on here between Arnold, who's trying to still get past Hunter, I believe.
Arnold? I thought that...
No, Bishop, so he's got past Hunter. So
right, yeah.
Arnold trying to he's got to where he back was then, back to square one. After, of course, being shunned down the order, as a prime example of what I was talking about a few seconds ago of making errors. So we'll see what Arnold can do. A bit of a lock up there. So a lot of these cars now starting to lock the brakes on a more regular basis. Onto the straight they come. Can he get a slipstream? You look in the background of this huge train of cars, all desperately trying to get a position. So let's see what happens then. Can Arnold get it done on Bishop? He's the last minute time as they hit the 200-yard marker. And a textbook manoeuvre there, as long as he can keep it on the lane side line. He can't. He swoops across. Job done provisionally. Now further back down the field, that battle's still moving on between Beagley and Lankett. Beagley trying to force his way through. It's going to be a race along. Contact!
There was
and Beagley a cheeky nudge. There's a car around there. Let's try and take a look at who that is. I believe that's Bishop.
Yeah.
So there was contact then between him, and I believe that must have been, if I'm not mistaken, unless there was another incident, that would... Oh, it's another battle there then, as we quickly changed. Yeah, it would have been Arnold that hit him. There's a more bit of contact there, and there's always gone.
He's just held it.
Yeah, it was Ben.
I believe the battle up ahead is Pereira, he's been overtaken, I think.
Pereira's been on a charge completely, though, all day. He's managed to somehow catch the car in front of Morgan, so he's back to where he was. So now Morgan once again, having pulled away from the pack behind, finds himself in a defensive position. Another lock-up allows Rowell to get a bit of a run.
This is all very close racing, but for the Beagley incident, I did say that he was looking for contact, and he certainly got it, but those two cars were very lucky to get away from that unscathed. I was expecting either Beagley or Lancet to spin around and tears to show, but no, very lucky there, I'd say, and a massive lock up there from Pereira.
Oh, absolutely.
And then does go
in the background
as
well, so Arnold's gone. So I think Arnold may have some damage from where he made contact earlier on with Bishop, so we'll have to see if he stays out or no. He hasn't pitted in, but he seemed a bit slower, and we saw him to go slightly wide as well, so there could be some downforce issues there for Arnold. Back down the field then, let's see what the battles are like a bit further back, because
Arnold,
we did see Beagley there has actually got past Lankett by quite a big margin as well.
No, I think that's Hunter, and no, Beagley's back there. Beagley's lost out big time, actually, I think. Or is it Hunter that went off? No, it is.
No, Beagley's got past, and then it was Bishop, the one that made contact with Arnold.
Yes, and he's round into, he's behind Lancet. Yeah, Beagley's opened up quite a nice gap there, actually, from Lancet.
Absolutely, back at the front though. There you see third place man. Haven't really spoke much about this man today. Axelson was very consistent in qualifying. Warm-up times were looking exceedingly good, and he's got himself up there in quite a good position as well. So there's a battle there. This is very intriguing. This is much further out the field. This is Venari and Weber. I believe that's for P3, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
So let's see what Venari can do then.
Again,
so you're going to notice as well, the quality of racing is going to get a lot more conservative towards the front end of the field for positions, because you don't want to bin a position. You know, you're in third place and you hit the car in front. It's the last thing you want to do, and having that hang over your head going into the next race will be one of the worst feelings ever, knowing you could have had so much more. So these guys will be just trying to play it cool, but you know, Webber's going to have to pull out some expensive defensive manoeuvres here if he wants to try and keep Vignari behind.
And I think that third place is probably the most realistic position for Webber, because I mean, looking ahead, Nasland is miles in the distance, and Henschfeld, I mean, God, he's probably in the next galaxy by now. I mean, look at him, he's probably literally miles ahead.
Yeah, so he comes round the final part of the track to do another lap, and just behind, I mean, yeah, you see, I mean, the gap's gone huge. And they're just like, so as we said, it's all splitting out now, and I think Nasland did what he had to do. He got the lead in the opening couple of corners, but Hangrel just had that slightly faster car all weekend, and that in turn has paid dividends, as this will be the closest battle on track. Then third place is Vignari, will quite happily take a third place. Well, you know, if you've got a car that's placed fifth and you can got it up there in the top three on the podium, I'm going to be extremely happy. Look at the run he's going to have then as they come onto the straight. That's going to be a nice run if he can just get in the slipstream quick enough. I don't think that's going to be a run this time round, but definitely in the next couple of laps we'll keep an eye on that one as we go through the rest of the field and see if there's any other battles in the making. There's Arnold there locking a break, I believe. There's Beagley after making his park on Lankett. Lankett goes very deep into that corner. He's going to lose a lot of time now to who I believe to be was Hunter behind him there.
Yeah,
Was that? No, that was yeah, it was Hunter. Yeah, so Hunter slowly actually gaining on Lankett. So Lankett's gone from defending one battle to defending another. So this will be very interesting to see. I mean, Lankett's defensive skills, to be fair, have been put to the absolute limit today. He's had to pull out all the stops against Beagley, and now he's going to have to do it all again against Hunter. So
I think it's a shame for Lancia as well, because to be fair, you know, Beagley, he was so good defensive that Beagley just decided to smash into him. But I think the next variable which we have to consider roughly about now is when people are going to start to pit, and whether people will actually go for the one-stop strategy, which I warned against because the tyres would have gone off by the end of the race, but which may actually look likely here if people are looking to try and get ahead of people. And oh goodness me, Zach Cristani's caught up on Axelsen by the looks of it.
yeah, absolutely, he's all over the rear end of Axelsen. As you can see, this great helicopter view here, seeing how both of them take the apex. Let's just see how much of a gain Cristiani gets. You can see that gap almost getting closer as they come to the straight. He got a great run.
Great run.
Let's see what it's like into turn one. Then he's zooming up to the back of it.
Blimey.
He's got so much more momentum. There's a lot of smoke into turn one. That's a bit too much for my liking.
And he's got him.
Oh, and he doesn't go deep. Axelsen tries for the cutback, but well covered. So Cristiani moves up another position. And Axelsen slips down, so Cristiani again slowly moves up the field today. He's had a good race so far.
I believe that's the battle for fifth.
It's taken a while, but it looks like we finally got this stream sorted, so...
It looks like it. No, wait, whoa, do not call the curse of the commentators again. We do not want that. And look at this, I mean, it looked like Venari was pulling away massively from...
Axelsen's lost a lot of time there, Cristiani. I mean, let's just take a look at on board quickly then, and take a look, that's a huge gap already from what it was just a few seconds ago. That is crazy stuff there. So Axelsen, obviously a lot slower, so the question is, can Cristiani catch a car's front of him? Because of course, just in front of him, if we can quickly switch to the battle, will be the battle between, that's Varani, and who's he fighting for? That's Venari and... it's a lap car, I believe. That's Phil Nielsen. He's going to have to move out of the way, I think. I think that's the position.
Because ahead of them is the Webber. Who's Webber battling with now? On his own?
Yeah, so Webber's pulled away from Venari. That was the one before, so... lap traffic. We spoke about this. I mean, it looked, if we just quickly cut back, that not giving way is Hull Nielsen, and Venari's going to be surely... shows a very rude gestures in his cockpit at the moment, because he's allowed Webber to gain such a gap, and Venari was calling all over the back of it.
Out the way.
Finally lets him go. Now,
well,
what's that bit
Venari
of a
now.
foul play there?
Oh no, sorry, Cristani even. Look at Cristani, he's just absolutely mauled all the track which was between himself and Venari, and it's going to be a massive disadvantage now. Massive lock up there by Venari. He does not want to do that with Cristani, just, almost on his gearbox now. I mean, the man's looking fast, and he needs to pull out all the stops. Possibly make a pit stop, but That said, he does seem to be keeping a consistent gap to third place man Webber, who's ahead of him. Yeah, traffic not actually doing the best of jobs for Venari, and I think there will be a few words between himself. Oh, and we lost in there. There will be a few words between Venari and Hall Nelson if Venari does lose out massively from this coming battle, which Cristani seems to be bringing to him.
So again, my curse the commentator thing, as James rightly said, is
I
paid
did say.
dividends, unfortunately. It's just my internet's messing around with me tonight. It knows I'm trying to do a job. Just trying to read into the RRD view once again. But once we left, as we said, Venari, who unfortunately did lose a lot of time to the car in front of him, who's Webber, actually isn't doing that bad now. He's actually matching him in terms of time and pulling away from Cristiani, but I mean, exactly what we were talking about with lap cars, that if they don't want to get out of the way, it can really harm, you know, a race in the midfield, and that's exactly what we've seen here. Webber's managed to pull away such a gap, and left all that work for Venari to do again, of course, now with the added pressure of Cristiani just behind him. So if Cristiani can't, you know, well, if he can keep up with them, and not just, you know, perhaps overtake them, but if he can just keep up with them maybe, you know, half a second to 2 seconds away, then if there is some contact between Venari and Webber, then it'll be, you know, potentially a third place position, man.
Well, I'll tell you what, the good thing is that from what I last saw, Venari has pulled out a gap further from Cristani, and is putting back in Webber. But as I said before, if he doesn't have a couple of words with Halls Nelson after the race, I will be surprised, because I certainly would, or very possibly in impeding my race if I wasn't such a good racer. You're right then, mate.
Should hopefully fix my problem.
First race gremlins, you must love them. And so yeah, from the looks of it, yeah, Venari has caught up on Webber at least. He seems to have lost Cristiani. And to be perfectly honest, who was Cristiani in the battle with now? The car who he was in the battle with, look at him, he's pulled out a massive gap now.
Absolutely. So if we just quickly cycle through the film.
Yes, this is Axelson. Axelson, that's the one. So yeah, Axelson has been kept to a reasonable pace by Arnold. Arnold, I don't think is going to be making many advances on him, as he was placed 6th actually on the grid, but he does appear to have lost out to, I believe, who's that in front? I'm not entirely sure. But he must make sure that he doesn't go off track anytime soon, otherwise he will easily lose that position. I believe that we should be coming up to the halfway mark any point now, and still no pit stops. It surprised me. I would have thought that the tyre wear around this track would have meant that we would have seen 2 pit stops, but it appears the one stopper may actually be the way forward. Axelson most definitely pulling away there from Arnold. He did seem to be putting up quite a good bit of a fight, but is now falling back. We should possibly sign up a petition to upgrade Mr. Liam Jenkins' internet. This guy clearly has sent their dirty doers to hinder him in this rather flawed broadcast, I must say. But yeah, here we go. Axelsen has caught up massively to the car in front of him. And he's overtaken him, actually. There we go. So Axelsen is going to attempt to further build on that then. And Liam is back. You alright there, Liam? Possibly not. Nope, definitely not.
There we go, I think I realised what the problem was, and then my wheel unplugged in. Right.
Right.
We are back, and good for business, I believe, so I can't apologise enough tonight. This has been horrible in so many ways.
Hopefully,
we finally got it going
yeah.
now. I think my antenna fell off my
okay for next
USB.
week.
My antenna fell off my USB adapter, I think, which could have been a bit of an issue for the internet, so...
Very possibly. Yeah, I think it's a big apology for the fact that everything has been, you know, pre-organised and so well organised, and then on the last day, it's all gone to pieces, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, well, good job that the race hasn't done that at the moment. As we go back through the field, now we see Ferreira defending what I believe to be...
It is Ferreira.
Arnold.
Excellent. Yeah, Axelsen got past Arnold and then further got past Ferreira. So yeah, good battle there. Ferreira doing much better as we were expecting, actually. I mean, he didn't qualify as well as we thought he was. But obviously moved himself back up now, which is good.
Absolutely. So if we look on then, it's still Ferreira defending off Arnold. He goes very deep there. And that's not what you want to see, but he's got such momentum now. Ferreira seems to be losing lots of time and positions. He's kind of had a bit of a topsy-turvy race at the moment today. He's been right at the front of the field and, well, kind of in the midfield as well. So Arnold looking to stick one past him and add another one to his list. Let's see what he can do then. Ducks into the slipstream as they're going towards turn one. Has he got enough momentum? He dips out to try and make the move stick. Can he do it? He hasn't got enough. And Ferreira shuts the doors.
Is that Henschfeld or Leven in the background?
I believe that will be Henschfeld, if I'm not mistaken.
Because then he'd be coming up to laps.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is Henschfeld coming up to lap. I think that's P6 and 7 is Ferreira and Arnold, I think.
Back at the front, Varane has actually caught Webber at such an alarming rate as well. So all that work that he had taken away from him by sort of the teammate of your pole sitter and current race leader as well. So he's got all the ones, pole sitter, race leader and previous World Championship winner. So perfect for Hengeveld at the moment that Varane has had all that taken away from him by his teammate and now trying to get it back again. Hall Nielsen was the one he managed to try and fight for a position, which I think he realised after a while he was a lap down. And Varane's had a lot of work to do. He's finally got back up to the rear end of Webber. This time, can he make it stick and put it beyond all shadow of a doubt that he's going to finish on the podium?
Well, Webber, as we've seen before, very good at defending.
But here
he goes, making the move.
Can he make it stick? He's still going to be side by side. He's trying to claim us the outside line.
He's done it.
He's done it. That's an exceptional job there by Brani. So he's not giving up there. Webber's still trying to fight. It'd be smart to dip into the slipstream, but right now he just can't get the job done. He's faster though. Does it go into the red corner? Can he swoop it though? Has he got enough momentum?
Yes, he has. Fantastic.
So it seems that Webber's faster on the straight line, and Varani's faster in the corners. This is going to make up for possibly a spectator's perfect race between two drivers. One car's faster in the corners, one's faster in the straights. Who's going to hang on the most?
I don't know, it's hard though. I mean, Webber can only do so much on the straights. He's got one move, I believe, and Webber's in the pits. Webber's our first man to go in the pits.
So let's see if Webber, maybe he's just trying to get a bit of an advantage on Brani. He's obviously feeling those old tyres. There's another man in the pits behind him as well. That's Nasrin's teammate, I believe. That's
Hunter, I think.
Yeah, Hunter. In the... If there's any other close action on track, there's Beagley, I believe, who's finding himself a bit of track space now for once, which is always nice to see. So the field separate out, as you see there, that's Webber leaving the pit lane. And there, if I'm not mistaken, is Bran Hengeveld, so...
He's not coming in still.
Clean race perfection so far as he comes up, as you said.
Especially on Ferreira.
So Ferreira, you know, is driven... All these guys are doing really good races so far, and yet still so much slower than your race leader, Hengeveld, all over the back now, Ferreira. Let's see if he moves out of the way. I think it'd be silly not to, and have a very angry Hengeveld and race admin, who's one man you don't want to annoy. Just behind you, so sensibly let Hengeveld through.
Much better than Hall Nelson before him. Going to be. To be fair, I don't think it will matter when Hengeveld pulls into the pits unless he has a massive off and destroys his rear wing or something. It will matter not when he pits because Nasland he's miles in the distance. I really doubt that he'll be able to catch up to him, and he has to pit himself. Don't forget. Look at the distance he's got on Ferreira already. So much confidence in the car, so fast around this track. It's awe-inspiring, absolutely awe-inspiring.
Absolutely, I mean, Hengeveld's got this setup now, and he's got this race now by the looks of it, providing we don't get another commentator's curse. But Hengeveld, you know, came into this race, you know, wanting to defend his championship. He got pole position, he was fastest in practice, fastest in warm-up. Can he top out the lot and have a weekend on top of everyone else, really? He's been doing a fantastic job so far. He can keep it on track. He's definitely on course to be defending his title. P2 man there is way, way away. That's Nasrin, of course, who's slipping away, locking brakes. When will he pit in? This is going to be interesting. He's quite, a long way away from Hengeveld at the moment, but will he gain time through the pit stops? Is his second stint going to treat him better than the first? And can he get a better leapfrog perhaps? But he's going to need a lot of work to do. There's Vignari man, P3. Then will he pit in? Of course, Webber, who he was duelling away with, pitted in recently for his tyres. So Vignari could be the next man too. It's going to be interesting to see how quickly Webber gains to him. As this time Vignari goes back past, I believe that was Nilsson actually. Hall Nilsson, and I'm sure, well, luckily Hall Nilsson got out of the way this time. So Vignari, I'm sure, would have been very reluctant to go through what he went through again. But at the moment, it's all looking fairly smooth out on track as we just try and find a bit of action. There we go.
Battle.
There's Christiani and Axelsen, and Axelsen actually lost the pace of Christiani. Christiani, of course, zoomed away so quickly, and now all of a sudden, Axelsen seems to have found some pace. So let's see what he can do then. As you see Webber there, just in front of them, as Axelsen goes on. That's a that's a very audacious attempt indeed, and he's made it stick. That's a great move. He saw the opportunity and he went for it and he made it stick. That's a great example of what this league is about. Christiani now going to try and reclaim that position. He's done it once, he's going to need to do it again if he wants to stay there though. Axelsen going to have a little smug look on his face, I think, after that one.
Me, that was definitely a balls to the walls move for certain. Goodness me, that was very, very risky, but obviously paid off, and it looks like Axelsen's tyres and straight line speed are a bit better than Cristani, and I wouldn't be surprised if Cristani's pits anytime soon.
Yep, so do just take one more look through the field then, see who we can find. Christiani then, just quickly, he's actually lost a little bit of time to Axelsen. This isn't quite what he pulled out before. He saw Axelsen slip away very easily indeed. But Axelsen is now pulled away, but not quite as much. Christiani still clinging on. Now, will that be enough in the pit stop window? We'll be yet to see. I mean, Webber's been, as far as we know, apart from Nelson's teammate, the only man to pit for tyres unless he had some damage. The rest of the drivers feeling fairly confident at the moment. Oh no, we see that as Ferrari comes in, so very scruffy entrance indeed. He's gone wide, that's going to cost him time, and that's not what we're going to see as Webber, of course, is going to be unaware of this, but that is a horrible mistake there by Ferrari, and how much time is that going to cost him?
I think Ferrari was rather hoping that we would catch him on cameras there. It appears he had a very, very quick stop there. Much quicker than I was expecting, but there we go, scruffy exit. Where does he come out? Relatively clean air, I think. Is that Arnold? No, it's... Ooh. Is that Axelsen? It can't be.
I think it could be, as we just take a look. No, that's Lacer, I believe.
Yeah, Lancet.
Lancet, just behind Beagley. That's interesting. Beagley back behind Lancet, so these two about to do battle again. We saw a ferocious battle between those two at the start of the race. If we can see another repeat of that as the climax, I'm sure things will go from hot to boiling.
I assume that Beagley pitted, and either Lancet kept on going or Lancet pitted and gained a lot of time on Beagley, but lost 2 positions there, I think, actually.
Oh, Hengeveld! Was that Hengeveld?
No, I think it was Leven.
Yes, it was Leven. I think we all got a bit worried then, but Leven has managed to keep it going. It's a big moment though. Is it time for his pit stop? Now, as you said, with the tyre wear fading away, a lot of drivers who say not only are they locking up more, but we've seen a lot more slides recently.
We're drifting through that one, goodness me. I must admit though, the tyres have lasted a lot longer than I was expecting them to.
Absolutely, so, I mean, it has been a very low attrition rate as well. You see Hunter and Bishop, 2 teammates. Hopefully they would take each other out. They've had fairly consistent races, seen plenty of action, both of them. That's a great sight to see, just the 2 teammates flying through together, and I'm sure there'll be no fight there. Oh, there is, though, a bit of a lock-up.
There is a bit.
Teammates or not, racing's racing, and it's still not trying to give up though. You see Bishop trying to cling on as Hunter. Oh, who are they behind actually? That's Hall Nilsson. He's found his fair share of their guys overtake. A little bit scruffy there. So these 2 darting away. I'm not sure that's exactly what the team boss is going to want to wake up to tomorrow if he's watching the rerun of the race.
Oh, the nightmares of me and...
That's a very almost big dart. And that's a late move there. They're going to go on late contact. Oh no! And that's the worst nightmare for a team boss, or both drivers in fact. Who's come out on top? I think that's Hunter. No, Bishop's come out on top. And Hunter is going to be a bit cheesed off with his teammate. I'm sure there'll be a few fierce words said between those 2 at the end of this one, but can he reclaim that? We'll have to wait and see, but at the moment, let's just quickly fly through the field. There's Hengeveld, who hasn't really put a foot wrong all day, has to be said. We've seen a lot of drivers make mistakes or slowly fall away. Hengeveld hasn't done that. He's been consistently there, setting fastest laps here, there and everywhere. And he pretty much deserves his victory if he can keep it there.
I believe his target now is lap the entire field. I think that'll be unlikely. With Narzan, obviously, he's still about 3/4 of a lap ahead from being lapped. But, I mean, this man, Hengeveld, what a race. And you must think, he strikes absolute fear into the heart of any other competitors because of the massive gap that he's actually pulled out. And I don't even think that Visa Muller, who's not with us today, would even have a hope in hell of catching him at this rate.
And now another team battle going on. This is Svart and Webber. Hopefully we don't see a mirror of what just happened a lap ago. This time, let's see what Svart can now. It's Webber, isn't it? Trying to overtake Svart. Yes, so it is. He's gone out, and that's what we like to see.
Yeah, there we go.
That's how you overtake a teammate, and don't dart up the inside at the last second. But, well, can't say it's the same for all teams. I mean, some drivers are a lot more feisty than others. There's Axelsen in the background. Now Axelsen's actually behind Webber now, but still, look at the gap between Christiani. That has pulled up such a big gap
Hengeveld?
now.
Right, so that's Hengeveld. So Christiani, we reckon, I think, is 5th, possibly 6th.
Is that Beagley on Ferrari? Yeah, I thought it was. Yeah. Beagley and I mean, you saw these 2 both very aggressive indeed. Sorry to interrupt you there. There's these 2 going at it now. as they come in towards the final corner. It's a very tricky final corner to get right, and to get a run on your opponent's even better. Let's see what Beagley can do then. He's streaming down the home stretch now as the car's diving off into pit road, I think, unless I was a mistake. Beagley goes on the inside, he thinks he's got enough momentum to take it.
Ferreira.
Oh, it's going to be close. Ferreira goes wide sensibly, and let Beagley through, trying to get the cut back. He didn't want to cause contact there. Ferreira immediately chose his line and stamped all over it. He wasn't going to compensate.
I think that's a very, very smart move by Ferreira. If he's been listening to the commentary and heard about Beagley's previous trepidations, then yeah, better to stay out the way and let that man through than try and cut across him and ultimately, you know, ruin your race by doing so. I really wish we knew who pitted though, because we saw Beagley lose places to Hunter and Lancet, and our assumption was that he had pitted, either that or gone off the track. And if Ferreira's gotten behind Beagley, then he's had a terrible outlet.
Yeah, absolutely. This hasn't actually gone as much to plan as he wants to. So we just try and find some action there. We see it's Bishop, I believe. Yeah, getting past Webber. So it's not what Webber wants either. So Webber is trying to defend that.
I think, yeah, Bishop was letting him pass it. Because remember, even though Webber's pitted, and say Bishop would be fighting for position, you know, it's still common courtesy to let the clearly faster drivers past. And, you know, I think that was the case with Swart, who makes a fantastic move.
I'm not sure if Bishop's had a problem there, or whether he just simply allowed Webber through, but... Oh yeah, Webber! He's just gone completely off! He's kept out the wall, but you have to be very lucky to turn that round, and I thought he was going a bit slowly, and Webber went through extremely quickly. He's managed to keep that going, he's off. I think he may have some steering damage. You can see him struggling to keep it on the racetrack. He comes down and straight, didn't pit in, which is very interesting.
I'm surprised. He's been off already before, and him going slowly, I assume that was because he let Webber through.
Being that close to the pit lane as well, he couldn't really turn down opportunity to get some fast repairs or make sure there's no damage to the car. If there was ever an asking spot for a crash, that would have been the ideal place, but, well, Bishop decided to soldier on. We'll see what his result is at the end as we see some action there. That's a Hull Nilsson. Although it's coming out to Lancet now. Let's see what Lancet can do. So Hull Nilsson, I believe, right at the rear of the field, unfortunately. He's seen more rear ends of cars than he would have liked to.
Obviously doesn't have the straight line speed on Lancet, I don't think. Keeping it safely behind Lancet. You know, it's an option, you know, to stay behind nearest competitor, hope they make a mistake, you know, don't make any risque moves. But it seems to be, it's weird. I mean, we've seen a lot of these drivers have the different attributes. You know, you've got some of these guys who are clearly fast around the corners, such as Hull Nilsson in the looks of it, but then you've got the more straight line speed guys, such as Lancet, who, you know, can easily pull away. And who's this? Is this?
That's Axel, I think, yeah, it's
Axelson Webber. So Axelson, yeah, he's gone past Webber.
So Webber trying to come back, and he's sandwiched in between two teammates, I believe, which is what he wants to.
Yeah. Wait a sec, what's going on there? Svart was behind Webber.
Yes, so Axelson, fortunately, he's found himself in a bit of a sandwich at the moment.
Right, so no, Svart behind there is to let one of the other guys through. So this is Webber up ahead with Axelson behind.
Oh.
Yeah.
So is Axelson just pitted in, or was that a...
No, I don't think so.
Oh no, I think no, it's just a bit of an issue there, I think.
Oh, look, someone's got retirement.
Oh, it's Hull Nilsson then.
Hull Nilsson, Vandenberg and Nogren have all retired, and we never even saw this.
And Simp now, and then Star. But, oh, that's very high attrition rate. That must have been during the technical problems. I know that Hull Nilsson would have been quite recent. We see Hengevel come out to Lancet. Is he going to move out the way? He should do, realistically, but he's standing in the middle of the track. I'm sure Bram's going to be too pleased about that one. He's got plenty of time though to make them... Oh, enough. What's happening here? Oh, is it the end of the race? It could be. Yeah, so
Yes.
I think, yeah. I wonder what's going on there. No, it's Bram Hendriveld
Yeah.
then is your winner
Yeah.
for round 1 of the opening then of the Race Department Open World Championship. It's been a great race. I think it's very well deserved. He was the defending champion going in, fastest in qualifying, fastest in practice,
Fabulous.
fastest in warm-up, and fastest in the race. What a great result for that young man. He's going to be exceptionally happy with that. And his road to defending his championship and making it 2 in a row is going to be well underway.
I think, first of all, I don't think those retirements may have been retirements. They may have just quit out to the garage straight away. We genuinely will have no idea because, unfortunately, the broadcast has been, what's the word? Troublesome. So, first of all, we must apologise to all of you. But yeah, massive congratulations to Henchveld, who has absolutely dominated this race. I mean, I've never, even Sebastian Vettel couldn't do this. Ooh, excuse me, it was incredible what he's done.
Absolutely. I mean, Bram's just done such a good job today. I mean, we can't applaud him enough, really. I'll see if we can bring him in for an interview. Actually, and we'll try and see the full standings of the race then. Let's have a look. So it was Bram Hendriveld then, who's the winner of round 1 and second place, and it was fairly closely contested towards the start of the race. The second half told a different story. Naslund came in P2 for Swedish sim racers. Third place was Vignari, an exceptional job there. He found himself in multiple battles.
Notice here that only the top 3 were on the lead lap.
A very different story to what he predicted in qualifying, but Vignari really did a good job there, I think. He found himself in lots of battles and just got the job done. He brought the car home in third. He was fighting for 5th place at one point as we've gone to a loading screen, which has wrecked our rundown of results. It's a great job by all the drivers who finished the race. Some fantastic racing. So, alright, let's see who's your driver of the day then.
Well, I honestly couldn't not say Henchveld. I mean, the man has absolutely taken this F3 car by its handles and just gone to grips with it so quickly. I mean, it's ridiculous how far ahead he was of even Naslund, the second place man. They've been talking about actually in the field, you know, bar the massively great guy at the front. I'd have to say that Vignari actually did quite a good job, as well as Axelsen. You know, they fought well through the field and came out with very good positions. Vignari better than he was expecting, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, I think in terms of pure racing, it would have to be Bram. I mean, he's done such an exceptional job today. In terms of overtaking and defensive, that I think, well, Beagley would be quite a good contender. He's found himself making many aggressive manoeuvres on, you know, the likes of Lankett and towards the end on different drivers. I mean, he's done a good job today, and I think in terms of pure aggression, he's definitely one of the best out there. But so, Beagley in terms of overtaking and defending, but in terms of pure racing, it has to be Bram. He did such a good job today. And I mean, he deserves all the credit he gets. So after round 1, Bram's defensive of his World Championship manoeuvre's gone very well. Let's see if we can drag him in for a quick chat. So we are joined by Bram Hendriveld, your race winner. If you've got quick time for an interview, Bram?
Of course. Hey guys.
So luckily after a troublesome broadcast, your race was troublesome free, it seemed. You know, you had a great warm-up session, great qualifying. You know, what was your mentality going into the race?
I was well prepared this time. And it went flawless. Practice was good. Qualification was better than expected. And the race, I decided not to pit because Connie was still in a time frame that he could overtake me when making a pit stop. I had to change the strategy a little bit and try to do it on one set, and it was quite tough the last 10 laps. It was like driving on ice. I had nothing left on the tires.
Well, I mean, looking at the gaps, I mean, you saw a massive gap to second place man Naslund. I mean, the top 3 in that race out of 20, I think it was, actually finished on the lead lap. So your dominance is clear to show. How do you think next round will go? Let's have a look. I think it's Jacarapagua
Yeah.
Are you good with that track? You know, do you think that you'll be able to maintain this dominance that you've shown so very clearly here at Grande?
It will be really tough next week because then the top drivers from the big pool will merge in. I'm really curious about their times and how they perform tonight. So yeah, it will be a tough one.
So also, you know, this has been your first real opportunity to see the guys in Group 1A and see how they fare in terms of pace. Are there any real sort of major championship threats you see, or?
One of the biggest was stuck in traffic today, couldn't make it, was Robert Wiesermuller, who was really close last year. And unfortunately, was not on the grid today. That was one of the biggest contenders in this group, I think. So luckily for me, he was not here, but for the championship, it's a big loss to not have him here. And yeah, I was really looking forward to a battle with him, but unfortunately, it didn't happen.
So hopefully we'll see that next race then. So I think we'll let you go and have a couple of cold drinks now to cool down.
Yes.
After thoroughly deserved, I think. So
thanks,
until
guys.
next time, Bram, congratulations on the win, and we'll see you in round 2.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so I mean, as I was saying, the lack of Wiesermuller there, definitely something that Bram was worried about. I was saying he's one of the top contenders, and he doesn't seem as confident as I was expecting him going into round 2, especially after such a massive dominance.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. It would have been great to see if those two actually engaged in battle, but I'm sure all the build-up for round 2 will try and compensate for that. We'll see some good action there. So, but from us, well, from me and James, it's been a great race. Unfortunately, we did see some broadcast problems towards around the midpoint. We finally got them sold out, so apologies on all of our behalf for that. But hopefully next race they will all be sorted, and we hope you can all join us for that. It's been a fantastic race today, and we'll see you in round 2.
Cheers, yeah, bye for now.